Hello folks, today I'm going to be taking a look at a community member's base. This is Ddrei, and he's very kindly agreed to basically show me around and check out his shed. So let's take a look around, shall we?
Hello. So, this crater here...
I just realized I have no... Oh, actually I do. In my save game I don't have jet fuel.
Oh, you don't? Crap.
Holy shit. What happened here?
Yeah, this was our first station here, and we completely deconstructed it and built our second station.
When you say deconstructed, it looks like something exploded there.
Yeah, well, we dug around and placed stuff underground, and then it just got out of hand. It was the first test station, and the piping was all wrong, and it was just we were not able to maintain it anymore. So we decided everything we learned, we're building a new station and just move everything over to the second one.
Ah, I got you. How many people are working on this?
Well, mainly me for all the maintenance stuff and one other person for building and interior design and yeah, the fancy stuff. So I try to keep everything up and running.
Nice.
So yeah, this is the boring part. It's just solar panels until the end of the world, basically. And we have way too much power. We just overdid it at the beginning.
Oh my god, I thought you just had like 10, but I'm seeing the draw distance kicking in as I walk along.
Yeah, the draw distance is it's actually much further. Yeah, it's way too much, but we had several power crisis moments. And then we just overdid it in a
I'm having that issue now with my base. I built a new gas chamber, and I just don't have the power to run it. The lights kill the power.
Yeah. We had one other member on the server a while ago, and he just had tons of lights, and we just ran out of power all the time. So yeah, we optimized, and we had a lot of cable burning issues. So now, basically, we have a few lines from the battery system that run out here. So like...
so you're doing like subsystems, are you?
Exactly, yeah. The left one here is the gas line that goes down to the gas station, and the solar panel line is the right one from your perspective.
Capital. What is the maximum capacity on the red wires?
5,000 watts.
5,000, yeah?
Yeah.
For some reason I had it in my head that it was 2,000.
Yeah, I think people used it as a safety measure at the beginning of Stationeers, that's why you find it. But we actually double check our wires now. I can show you the wiring system before we look at the gas station. So this is our control system for the power. So we have every room, so we read the power from every room, how much it takes. So that when someone logs in, we just check if there's too much power used or whatever. It's just a safety.
Handy. How is it working? It's reading from the batteries powering the room?
No. It reads from the rooms. So if we come down here, let me turn on some lights. It's a bit dark. So this is our maintenance shaft. That's one of the main additions we did to the second base because we want to add more stuff later, so that's why we built this tunnel. So you see the main power line come in here, and then we branch it out to every room. And what we are doing now is we use a transformer, then we use an APC, and then another transformer, because what at least my readings told me is if you bring in the transformer and then go to an APC with a large battery in it, then in theory the battery can output more than 5,000 watts into the system, which would burn cables as well. A transformer after the APC, that even if the battery kicks in, the cables should not be affected afterwards.
Having the second transformer there.
Exactly, the second transformer after the APC is basically a security mechanism for the first large battery in the APC. Yeah.
But is there a chance that the cable connecting the second transformer to the APC might blow?
That might blow, but then we see it immediately because it's just short and down here in the maintenance area.
Got
so
you.
those three pieces may be burning, but that's a very isolated system. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
And
And
yeah,
what's
so
the-
up here you see the cable analyzer, and this goes out to the energy readings for every room, basically.
And how do you calculate for every room? You have it running on a separate APC?
Yeah, this room here is an APC, and that's one room upstairs. Here on the other side, that's a room on the other side of the base.
Gotcha.
It has its own APC, and when we go further in, every room has the APC. And also the tunnel allows us to do basic logic stuff down here and not upstairs. So the heating and cooling, for example, is done down here for every room. That's the Schmidt trigger thingy I sent you the other day.
Oh yeah, I've implemented that for the heaters.
Yeah,
That's the same
exactly.
setup, is it?
Yeah, that's the one I
Very good.
screenshotted the other day.
Yeah, no, it's quite a simple little system. It's very easy to set up. I was real happy with it, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's we usually start with a lot of huge logic, and then we just try to cut it down to use as little elements as possible, because it saves server performance, of course. Yeah, this is just another room, and then another one. And I think, yeah, this is where it ends, because we didn't expand further, but we also have the piping here. The blue line is the air we mix that's breathable, and the red line is the waste line. So every room also branches off its air supply.
And is the air supply connected to all the rooms on the same pipe, or separate?
The main pipe is connected for everything, but every room has its own circulation. Because huge areas are really hard to control atmos-wise, at least I find.
Ah, I got you.
So we have little rooms that have their own circulation, and then we connect them with doors. But I can show you upstairs how it's done. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And the
yeah,
waste
this
pipe is just exhausting out into space, is it?
No. It goes back to the gas station, and then we filter out everything again.
Got you. It's a very nicely designed little layout you've got here. Everything's really accessible.
Yeah, because that was the problem with the first stage. Every time I wanted to change something, I had to open up a room that was pressurized or dig around. And yeah, this time
Well, what I've
built
done,
the maintenance area and then the base around it.
well, I'm using construction kit walls inside of my rooms. And say I need to remove the wall to access piping or something, I can just place an iron frame behind it, and it'll maintain the pressure. And then you can deconstruct the wall, and the pressure is maintained.
Yeah, you can always use those tricks, but there's always fiddling around. And
yeah, it's a little convoluted, right? But this is very nice. Very nice.
Most things, if I want to add logic, I can just play around down here, for example, and then keep the rooms upstairs a bit cleaner.
Yeah, no, this is very nice.
Okay, just turning off the lights when we move out.
Have you thought about putting in motion tracking on the lights?
Yeah, but the problem is, if I'd be alone here, then it would be really easy to set up. But the fact that we have 2 or sometimes 3 people in here, then the motion tracking logic falls apart.
Oh, because they'd be triggering different lights, yeah?
Yeah, because some person triggers something, and then another person triggers something, and then it starts to get complicated with the logic. I haven't found a really nice solution yet. I hope I do one day.
Oh, I'm liking this.
So yeah, this is the front side of the gas station. We have every gas filtered. You can fill your tank. I think that's deactivated at the moment for power reasons. Yeah, pressure and temperature readings, just a sanity check. So I don't have to measure the pipes all the time. So I just see if a pipe is getting too much pressure, and then I can double check if the emergency venting system works and stuff like that.
That's a pretty neat system. I was planning on my own base to have an emergency, the flashing light?
Yeah.
And have it hooked up to a logic system that if it goes over 75% pressure, the warning light will come on.
Yeah, what I'm doing now, it's not yet fully done, is basically I'm doing a reader where it checks if it's at around 60 MPa, and then I'm just opening a passive vent to vent like 5 kPa out in space or something like that. Yeah.
So you maintain the pressure in your rooms at 60 kPa,
yeah? No, the rooms, if they are pressured, they have 101 kPa.
Nice.
And we do, I can show, yeah, so that's the fancy front. If we fly over this wall, I basically built this wall to save the frame rate because it got a bit weird.
I think it's the iron frames because of the lighting can really screw that up.
Yeah. So, yeah, this here is our breathable air. It's the only color-coded one yet. So it just automatically mixes 1 MPa, I think. Yeah, 1000 kPa. It tries to maintain 1000 kPa of nitrogen and oxygen mix. It's, what is it, 25% oxygen, 75% nitrogen.
They haven't actually implemented, you can breathe 100% oxygen at the moment, can't you?
You can, but then you run into Apollo problems, because if you weld or get a lot of heat in oxygen only, it starts to catch fire real fast.
So you need the nitrogen to sort of balance that out.
Exactly. If the oxygen level with this mix is high enough, but it doesn't explode
Pressure
that easily.
critical. Temperature critical.
If you got the warning, don't panic. That's just the server hiccup every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then basically it's just for every gas there's tank storage, of course. I just use 2 tanks so we can collect more.
I'm assuming you're not playing on the beta branch.
No, it's just stable.
You know the beta branch has a giant tank now.
Yeah, exactly. I saw the big ones and I'm happy that I can replace the little ones. Because then I can use the little ones as backup storage for whatever reasons, maybe in the maintenance area, and then just keep the big ones up here for this storage area.
Yeah, no, I was like a dog with my own base. I finished the gas chamber, and then I found out from Nikki that there's giant gas canisters coming in.
Yeah.
I'd literally just put in the last panels.
Nowadays I'm a bit smarter because whenever I build rooms like this, I always leave like 1 open end in the pipes, as you can see here, so I can expand later on, because I had the problem in the beginning that I always built clean looking pipes. But then I wanted to expand, for example, my pollute line when it got full. And I chipped out 1 pipe part, and it basically exploded because the whole pressure was suddenly shifting, and it threw me over all the way to the crater where we spawned. And nowadays I'm just building pipes with open ends so I can expand without exploding things. Not sure if
that's probably the watchword for this game. Build stuff without exploding.
Yeah. But those little tricks, like I have these open things here where I can, because these pipes come out from the filtration system, but I knew that I have to branch out for mixing or whatever reasons later on. So I just built open. Oh, careful, the floor is not always built in this area. That's not for public use, basically.
Do you want me to? I was just wondering there.
So yeah, I know that I have to do mixing later, so I just built all those open ends where I can expand.
Your filters here, are they all connected to one another?
No, wait, I can open that up here. In the front.
The way I do it, like I connect all my filters together, so the waste pipe from one will lead into another one, so that by the 6th one all the stuff is filtered out.
Yeah, that's possible, but it's slower the way the game works at the moment.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so it works perfectly. I had that in a series in the first base as well, and it worked very fine. But then someone mentioned that if you do a parallel setup, it just works faster. I mean, usually it's not really an issue, because even the slow version is fast enough for a good base. It's just this way it's even faster. It's as soon as something goes into the waste pipe, it almost immediately is sucked out and filtered.
Are you using active vents to pump, or
no, absolutely nothing. There's no pumping in this waste system. So here's the waste system from the base, for example. It comes up here.
Very nice.
And then it just goes into the nitrogen filter, for example, and the waste from the nitrogen filter is just looped back into the waste line, and it sorts itself.
You have me thinking there with the signs on the wall here. I hadn't, because I wanted to have the what sort of gases in each canister in my own chamber. It didn't occur to me to use the sign as the way of doing that.
Yeah. Well, I want to build this space that, in theory, someone who's not built this space can use it afterwards. So they just can go here, turn on the pressure regulator, place the tank, and can fill their tank without having to know what's going on in the background. So that's the goal of this space for me, at least for now.
Yep.
Which works, oh yeah. Yeah, it's not really...
A couple of safety railings wouldn't go amiss.
Safety is an issue. So yeah, that's the gas system, basically.
You have like a little emergency duct tape thing here, do you?
No, it's just I spawned with the duct tape, and this one here is... Usually these doors are closed. Currently there's a lot of work going on in the base, so we don't have it pressurized. And if this is pressurized and you have like ore or anything, you can just come here, put everything in the base without going in. Which brings us to the area here. So we have this, when you come in, there's a light switch you can press, because for power safety, when someone goes out, they can just turn off the light when they go out and save power this way. We built this for a couple of systems. For example, here's the power switch for the computer and the fabricator. I mean, it's not really a problem at the moment, but who knows? Maybe later on power is even more expensive. So this is the work area. The way we built it is that if you shoot basically everything from the outside in here, in those yellow fence thingies. Sorry, my English sometimes.
Oh no, it's grand. Don't you worry at all.
Yeah. So the duct tape is already in here, and then we can put stuff in the recycler on the left side. Everything that's recycled is handled outside and then placed in here again. So the ore bits fall in here. Then you also have the furnaces outside where you can place ore or whatever inside, and when it's finished, the finished product falls in here again. And you can load the fabricator from in here as well. So in theory, you don't have to go outside to craft anything when you enter the base.
So basically you put the ore in or the smelted stuff in one side and it'll come out the other side back into the base?
Yeah, exactly. Everything that's fabricated is coming back in here. Then the finished product you place in the fabricator input, and whatever you do with the fabricator comes out on the right side.
That is very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, the way I mainly did it because workstations inside caused a lot of atmos problems like heat or pressure, and arc furnace inside generated pollutants, and it was just a major clusterfuck. So yeah, it's not very smart and not too easy to handle, but it works for now. It's just not done really well. And yeah, we also have a system where you can throw stuff out of the base, because if two people are in here, someone can say, hey, craft me 10 steel frames, and then someone can shoot it out here in the middle.
To the outside.
To the outside, so
nice.
You don't have to use the airlock that often.
I was thinking of setting up a similar system with, because on the back of that big chamber that I built, I have a lot of space for manufacturing. So I was planning to run chutes from one side to the other side and have like a delivery bay. So the construction area where I'm planning to build my main base. So actually, these chutes, I haven't actually built any myself. Do you need a vent or anything to pump stuff through them, or do they just work automatically?
The chutes work automatically. As soon as you input on one side, it comes out on the other.
So you don't have to worry about air or anything pumping it? Or...
No, not at all.
Gotcha.
And also you can just they can go through walls or glass or whatever. So.
Oh, that's handy enough. Like.
Yeah. So you can watch it on the other side, the not so pretty part. So there's no sorting or anything yet, so you have to do it manually. That comes later. It's the time to set up a good sorting system currently is longer than me doing manual stuff. So that's why we have it this way.
Yeah, that's the issue I'm running into now with doing the videos, especially, is because the early videos it was easy. You could do something in 1 or 2 hours, but now the bigger projects it takes a day to get everything set up. Like.
Yeah, I think this base took like 50 or 60 hours to build in the state it is now. And together with the first base we built and everything we learned there, I think I'm on 150 hours roughly.
It is very much time sink.
Yeah, but a very enjoyable time sink. So
oh yes, most certainly. I can't believe I actually refunded this game when I first got it.
Oh.
I was like, fuck this shit.
you need to... I struggled with the controls in the first hour or two, and I thought, this is... Blah, I want a control like, I don't know, Minecraft or something classic. But now that I'm used to it, it's really clever and really fast.
Yeah, no, I mean,
much better for the complexity it offers.
The only thing I think they should maybe streamline a little is swapping the batteries and the cartridges on the e-reader. And on your tools. That's a little convoluted.
What I did, like for example in the greenhouse, I have an iPad with a cartridge inside in the locker that I can just take in my hand, so I don't have to juggle the cartridges all the time. So I have like in each area there's an iPad with the correct cartridge already installed. That just makes it quicker. When you have the resources, you can do that. In the beginning, it's
actually I have about 4 or 5 handhelds in my base now, so I might just do that. Be easier.
Oh yeah, handhelds, they're called, not iPads.
Yeah, we don't want to run into copyright infringement there.
Yeah. So yeah, and on the outside here we just have a few machines extra because like the color paint stuff you can only build in the tool factory at the moment and not in the fabricator. And the sign kits, for example, can only be made in the auto lathe. So there's a few recipes are not in the fabricator. You can hack them in, I think, with the save game, but I didn't want to do that. So that's just the spare machines in case we need it.
Ah, okay.
And
I think the fabricator you need to build like chairs and stuff. I don't think you can build them on anything else.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, the fabricator can do like 95% of everything. So we use it almost all the time, and just a few things that are not done we use outside here. And then we also have the furnace stuff out here. So you see here the furnace goes into the wasteland. That's one of the gyro things I think you need for the spaceship part of the game.
Oh yes, Saddam of the Bears. He built a ship. I think he has one of these installed.
Yeah, it just looks cool. That's why it's here. It doesn't do anything. And yeah, the furnace here is of course connected to our wasteline. So when you're done smelting, we just pump everything inside. And yeah, everything is double and triple secured, so we always have the valves and the pressure regulators and everything. So
you're not using digital valves or anything yet, no?
No, it's not needed for the way we do things at the moment. It's just we've smelted so much of everything that we're pretty experienced with how much we need to put in to get out.
Stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just the outside of the pretty room inside with the.
Now what's up here on this roof over here?
That's the hydro thing. I'd show you that after the base, because that's called experimental area. I mean, there's not much more in the base. It's just a couple of rooms, and yeah, a lot of logic under the floor tiles, of course. We have these automated doors that are motion sensor triggered. And
very nice. Thought I was having a Bart Simpson moment there.
I just have those Oh, I think you're stuck in a door. Yeah.
There you go.
That sometimes happens. We just have these in, so the doors are always closed if you're not near them, because every room has its own air circulation. That's the idea behind it. So the rooms shouldn't mix that much. Every room has the light switch, of course. So the air comes in here, so you can turn on this valve and the pressure regulator, and then in theory... Oh yeah, the air is coming in.
Very, very cold air.
Yeah. And then on this side, the air gets sucked out for this room. So it just circulates in this small room. Because if these rooms are small, as you just saw, if the air is very cold and the room is finally heated up, if you have to depressurize another room, you don't have to worry about reheating the whole base. It just stays the same in the rooms that are not affected. And it's just another...
I like the layout here. It's very, very nicely done, I gotta say.
Yeah, I try to make as very small compartments and try to make them autark as possible, so that when something goes wrong, we can isolate problems really quick, I think. I don't know, it feels like for me that that's a philosophy that may work in space better than building, I don't know, I see in chat people that are building rooms that are like 150 frames, and at least I don't see a way to maintain them properly.
Yeah, there is, some people are building big, like, for myself I'm planning a modulated base with interlocking airlocks. So if you lose pressure in one, you don't lose it at all.
Exactly, that sounds smart to me, because errors happen in this game, and I don't know, it took ages to harvest enough oxygen and nitrogen to pressure this base, and the thought of it that one little error loses the whole progress on this is...
Oh, because this is a dedicated server, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you can't save scum.
Well, we can in theory. I do daily backups of the save files and everything, of course, but it's just I don't want to touch them.
That's the advantage. Like, I'm doing single player, and when I screw up, I can easily just revert to an old save.
Yeah, well, we can do that on the server as well. It just doesn't feel right. I want to put the pressure on me, because if I don't do that, then it's just another Minecraft game where I can leave my suit on forever and just build a huge room and don't have to worry about the atmosphere, for example. Yeah, and here this is just a huge test area, basically. It's not pressurized currently, it's just my colleague is doing logic tests here and heating tests, and we thought about doing the greenhouse here, but then we realized in the test area how hard it is in a small space already. So yeah, this will be the greenhouse in maybe a year or so, when we get everything under control.
In a year? Bloody hell.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just so far in the future I can't predict when it will be ready to use.
Well, I'll do part 2 of this video in a year then.
Yeah.
Gotta say, I love the layout. I just hope that they make the glass paneling, that you don't have to have a cube to like that you can just have one giant glass wall.
That would be very nice, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't offer much from the perspective of making things look cozy and nice.
Like, it looks okay. Like, I like the... It's very neat and tidy. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
And I love using the glass myself. I'm planning to do a glass greenhouse with a glass floor lighting underneath. But I just wish that it was pure glass. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It would also be nice if the glass looks nice on the outside as well, because this looks nice from the inside. And the white panels are not on the outside, so you have to double glass it if you want to make it look nice.
Oh yeah, there is that issue, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, those sleepers are just in here for show at the moment. We have a system planned for them. It's just not implemented yet. So
I'm assuming there's a data port on that.
Is there?
Oh, there isn't.
Maybe it's in the back somewhere.
Oh no, I'm not actually sure. I was just surmising that there should be a data port, surely.
I really don't know. I just worked on the atmosphere system yet.
Be good, like if they had medical bays and stuff like that at some point.
Yeah, I think in the other mode you can already print. Why did they? Oh, because there's a little air in this room now. Let's turn on the sucking system. There we go. I think in the other game mode you can already print organs. And I think that's something they are doing later. It's just not fully implemented yet.
Very
That you
nice.
can print a new brain and a new lung or something like that. So yeah, that was the pretty part of the base. And now we go to the experimental area. I'm using a triple manual airlock here because the airlocks are not 100% functioning on dedicated servers. So yeah, we have to go in a few steps.
So they actually work back to back.
So, well, the airlocks work, but just not 100%. So in here, this is the real airlock, and what I'm doing is basically I'm sucking the air out of here all the time and pumping it back into the room here.
And it's your hydroponics then, yeah?
Yeah.
Very nice.
So everything works at the moment. The logic is currently under construction. So what I did, it's just not on the floor at the moment, is I'm measuring CO2 levels, pressure, temperature, basically everything that's needed for plants. And only if everything's fine, the green light here goes on, which means you can plant plants now.
That is a very nice system.
If that light turns red, it means something's not in super duper conditions, and you need to check your data with the iPad.
Very nice system.
Yeah.
And how? So each of you're going to have a logic system. Like one logic will read the pressure, the other the temperature, and the other
Exactly.
will the atmosphere. Oh, okay.
And then I have a huge compare system. I just deconstructed it, I don't know, 2 hours before, because I need to rearrange the stuff on the floor to optimize it a little bit more.
I'd recommend you talk to Saddam the Bears. He has a similar system in his hydroponics.
Yeah.
And he might be able to help you with the logic side of it. I know he has a massive... And he's
it's
very good with logic.
It's working already. It's working fine. I just want to compress it now like the Schmidt trigger with less logic elements and stuff like that.
Ah, okay. It'll be good once the devs implement the server bins for logic.
Yeah, that would be very nice. I'm doing a lot of logic stuff, and that would be...
Save a lot of space.
Yeah. So this system has like, I don't know, let me check my notes, because I'm drowning in paper next to the computer. It has 7 memories, 9 CPUs, and 7 I/O units. Then I can basically do the whole thing with checking and everything.
That's coming along quite nicely, though. It really is.
Yeah. Then this here is the cooling system, basically. There's just a digital valve. I'm checking for the temperature, and if it goes, I think, above 30, this valve just goes on for like a second.
Power low.
And on the outside, there's also a lot of how are these called? Pipe radiators. So on the outside, there's a very cool gas, and in here it warms up. But the valve is going on now, so you see the temperature dropping, and then the valve closes itself. Then the air rushes to the radiators because it's cooling down, and then it falls to like between 20 and 25 degrees.
And where are these radiators drawing the cold air from?
From the outside. I can show you outside then. So basically in here is a closed loop, and outside is a closed loop.
Basically the radiators aren't cooling the pipe is cooling the radiator, which in turn is cooling the air.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, it didn't even occur
I think the
to me to do it
radiators
that
just
way.
make make the heat transfer faster I think.
So it can work both ways.
Exactly, yeah. So
I didn't
there's
even think about that, to be
cool
honest.
air in the pipe now from the outside, but the room actually heats up the pipe system and it equalizes. And the pipes outside with the radiators, they're cooling down because the outside is very cool. And then when the valve opens, it just equalizes the pipe temperatures, which means the warmer pipes get colder in here, and then they cool the room. It's a very simple system. That it's not very scientific. So basically, if it cools too much in a circle, then you remove 2 radiators and see if it's getting better. And now you see that the temperature is rising again, so it goes to 29 or 30. Yeah, it's also cooler if you stand here, it's 24 degrees, and over here it's 28. So yeah, it's a constant flow of air. It was very hard to maintain a good temperature range. And I'm basically heating with one wall heater. So the systems are fighting each other, but the way it's built now, they just...
I'm imagining this uses quite a lot of power to...
Yeah, this is a very power-intense room. But I mean, it's worth it. We can grow in here. I mean, we're on 56 wheat already, and corn already worked as well. I'm just doing it very slow because I don't want to ruin the few things we have. We only have 1 soybean left because they are bugged. Yeah. But yeah, it works. Plants grow in here very well.
Very nice. Well, I think I will have to call a halt on the video here. Otherwise, my edit time is going to be ridiculously large. Is there anything else that you really wanted to show?
No, I mean just the radiators outside, but I think you flew over it. So maybe
yeah, I saw that. It's all along the roof, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, thanks for showing me around anyway, and I hope everybody enjoyed seeing Ddrei's base. So I hope to catch you in the next video, guys.